So welcome, friends. Welcome, everyone. This is a very exciting moment. If you're just joining, and ask you if you can to turn on your videos so we can just take a moment to see each other, and invite you just to look around and take in this wonderful global family. And just at the start here, as we come together to celebrate a very crucial moment of this epic adventure, let's just take a moment together to breathe, to come into our center, just for a minute or so, just so we can arrive and settle and be in our deeper presence here together. Thank you so much. So this is a very exciting moment, and we're coming together at a very powerful time. It's the equinox today. It's really the most powerful time of the year to launch something new, the start of a whole new annual cycle. For those who don't know me, my name is David Nicol. I'm very honored to be the host of this journey today. And I met Cynthia in the context of the Gaia Field project at Leslie Meehan's house in the Santa Cruz Mountains. I think it was the early 2010s. And Cynthia was part of our Gaia Field Wisdom Council. We met weekly, communing together, practicing subtle activism and sacred activism, and weaving our souls together in a very deep way. Cynthia gave me an Earth Treasure vase to steward, and I was honored to do that for several years before it was ready to be buried. And we took that to Kansas, in the heartland of America, on that very fun and special pilgrimage, Cynthia, and to dedicate that for the healing of America. Very meaningful journey for me personally. I was with the crew that went to Nepal with Cynthia, going back to where it all began, and we took two Earth Treasure vases, one to Tolugumpa and the other to Chiraq, the place where the old man in the cave first gave Cynthia that vase all those years ago. And then Cynthia and I were also together in developing the online monthly full moon meditations, which we did for many years. And we co-created the Gaia Calling course online, which was very powerful. And anyway, it was such an honor for me to be part of those important pieces of the journey, Cynthia. And I just wanted to say just a couple of words about, we're going to hear from many people today with their reflections. I just want to offer just briefly some of my own at this juncture. And one thing, Cynthia, that strikes me is very few people get to truly live a hero's journey, a genuine hero's journey. And you've done it, Cynthia. You really have. And when I read the book, even though I had heard from you many of the stories, the book really does a fantastic job of bringing those stories alive. And it made me realize some things about the whole project that I hadn't to the fullest degree until I read the book. One of them is just how fully you've walked the talk. This is a project that at its core is about the love and care for the earth, and the way that you have listened to the earth at every step of the journey and honored the natural cycles, both in your own process, listening to your own body, your own timing, but also listening to the earth's timing at every stage. Seeing deep, incredible power that has run through this whole project, even to the fact that we're doing this call today on the equinox. It's an alignment with the true rhythms of the earth, which is such a deep feminine power. The courage that you've shown in this whole epic project. You didn't just go to the easy places, the comfortable places, the Congo, Liberia. You took risks, and through that, you attracted a certain power through taking those risks, and made it real, this intersection of this blessing power of these vases and the places on the earth that truly need the healing. The courage is immense. The way that you built real relationships with real people all over the earth that have woven together this incredible global family. It wasn't just a superficial connection. You entered into real relationship and created this global network of people united in the love and care of the earth. And it's so powerful and so meaningful, in this time when it is so difficult to find unity. The significance of finding unity, not in some transcendental ideal, but in our actual love and care for the earth. And that has cut through all these divisions. People have come together in this project, young and old, black and white, wealthy and poor, Christians, Buddhists, Muslims, pagans, indigenous wisdom traditions, sometimes even the deepest divide of them all, conservatives and liberals. And it just reflects on the commitment to real relationship that you've been able to do that. And then you've also, I think, made a major contribution in bridging this and adapting this to ancient Tibetan Buddhist tradition with this more earth-centric approach, which is in deep resonance with the needs of our moment. And that's a very powerful contribution. And then through all of that, you've remained yourself. You're Cynthia. You're available for real contact and real relationship. And I think most of all, I'm glad to call you my dear and true friend.
Thank you so much, David. And now the tears are flowing. To be with you again, to be with all of you who are here today. Thank you so much for showing up. I'm really moved to see each and every one of you here on these little squares. But I'm imagining that we're all sitting in this same beautiful room together. And here we are on this equinox, as David said, which, as we know, is a time when the light and the darkness are in balance in the world, which is so important. So I really did choose this day, this time for us to gather, because we so need this balance of the light and the dark and all of those forces that are in conflict today, or at odds, or polarized. And so please let us join together in that spirit, knowing that in the Northern Hemisphere, new life is budding. And in the Southern Hemisphere, there's a ripening of the harvest. And so those two also are so meaningful as this book comes into the world. It's number one in the category of Tibetan Buddhism on Amazon today and yesterday, which just blew my mind. And yeah, it's so auspicious, really. So today, I hung the new prayer flags. There's a pot cooking on the stove. The table is set. I wish we could just come together and feast, but this is a feast. And I just feel as if this convergence that we've been calling in this year for all the treasure vases around the world to be activated, and for all of us who are called into this this work, this practice of global healing, to be activated as holy vessels that we are. So I feel as if you are my holy congregation. You are my beloved community. And we have received some beautiful video messages from people who couldn't be here today in different parts of the world, and have a beautiful program to share with you in honoring all that has come before and all that has now been put into this book, Summoned by the Earth, becoming a holy vessel for healing our world. So I want to offer this to you. And we'll start by sharing a video. It's the premiere of the little book trailer that is kind of serving as a prologue to what I would like to read to you. I want to read to you a couple of times on this call, and I'll start after the video plays, and then we'll take it from there. But in any case, thank you again, everyone, for being here and for responding to the summons. Oh, here's the book trailer. The Vietnamese Zen master, Thich Nhat Hanh, was once asked, "What do we most need to do to save our world?" He replied, "That we need to hear within us the sounds of the earth crying." And so it was with me. Hearing the sound of the earth crying within myself, I set out seeking a path of service more than 30 years ago, and found myself in 1990 on a literal path climbing high into the Himalayas in Nepal on a pilgrimage to meet an old Tibetan Lama, Charak Rinpoche. I was being given the opportunity to ask a question of the proverbial old wise man in a cave. But what would my question be? As I sorted through recent losses in my life and confronted the loss of life in ecosystems around the world, I felt lost and confused. Carrying a deep yearning for a larger purpose inside me, with each step I began to hear the sound of the earth crying. Then, in the final stretch of high-altitude air, my life's guiding question became clear. I knew I had to ask him, what can we do to bring healing and protection to the earth? In that fateful moment with the holy man in the cave, I was given an ancient Tibetan practice to work with sacred clay vessels called earth treasure vases, which I was told can bring healing and protection to the lands where they are planted in the ground. Little did I know at the time, the journey that began in a cave at the rooftop of the world would unfold around the entire planet, taking me from the Americas to Asia, to Africa, Europe, and Australia, passing through disillusionment and despair to elation and deep fulfillment. Through Mother Earth's many cultures and communities, her dark forests and high mountain caves, riding ocean waves and braving winding roads. Following this sacred purpose, I made relations with people all around the world through this ancient practice of global healing. hearing the sound of the earth crying and feeling her call. Thousands of us are now engaging with this practice as our heartfelt response to bringing healing to our broken world. Together, we are bearing witness to the multifaceted web of life in all its beauty and sorrow. Every step of this global healing journey has called me to trust more deeply what I cannot see, something so much larger than myself. Along the way, I lost the path. I fell off the path. I wanted to leave the path behind. Yet still, I kept hearing a call that I could not ignore, a summons from the earth. Perhaps you hear it too. I wrote Summoned by the Earth to share this journey with you and as an offering to all who are hearing the cry and the call to awaken to a vital and vibrant relationship of interbeing with each other, with all beings, and with the living earth, Gaia. I hope you like that. It was fun to make and to give an illustration to a little synopsis of what this whole journey has been. So, chapter 1, the path. I am on the path, walking up the steep stones of the high Himalayas. The path climbs and climbs, and I wonder as I stumble along, what am I doing? At home in Santa Fe, New Mexico, my life has recently fallen apart. My marriage has ended. I feel lost and confused. And here on this path, halfway around the world, I'm trying to find the way. Luckily, my traveling companions know where to go. It is 1990, and they are taking me to the hermitage of a 106-year-old Buddhist Lama who lives in a remote cave at 13,000 feet in a faraway corner of Nepal. So I'm going to stop there and share something with you that has been a rather difficult revelation. Many of you know that every full moon for the last 34 years, I have recounted the tale of going to meet the 106-year-old Lama living in a cave and asking him a question. His being 106 really got my attention, and it just seems so rare and so mythic. It was part of what propelled me up that path. And then as this book was nearing completion, I learned that he was not actually 106. And I was devastated. Apparently, he was 96 when he died, still a very ripe old age. And one person actually told me he was in his 80s. I don't suppose we'll ever really know exactly. So this part of the story will have to be revised. There's an endnote in the book that I added to explain this. But I hope that you will agree with me that regardless of his age, all that has flowed from this incredible, remarkable encounter has been truly epic and life-changing. So I've needed to share that with you, and there it is. And so now we will go on. What a remarkable chance to receive guidance from a holy man who had known only the protected valleys and mountaintops of Nepal, though he had traveled vast realms through the power of his compassionate awareness and expanded consciousness. What would his perspective be, and what could I learn from him that I could share with others to help make this earth a better place for all? I hoped I was worthy to meet him. At a certain point in our ascent, I knew I must find a question for Chara Rinpoche that would not just be meaningful to me, but would bring an answer helpful to others who could never travel to such a place. To be given the chance to ask a question of an old wise man in a cave was an opportunity of a lifetime. And I felt a responsibility to everyone whom I imagined traveled with me on that mountainous path. I ached with the awareness that I was somehow part of something so much larger than myself that I did not understand. Walking up the path, my heart had to work hard to push the blood and pump the muscles to make that high altitude climb. And I became aware of the earth talking to me in my blood and in my bones. Once again, I sensed the terrible challenges our planet was facing and felt her calling for attention in each cell of my body. A deep longing for Earth's health and safety came into my heart and mind, and I asked myself, what can I do to bring healing and protection to the Earth? As that question arose, I knew something important was awakening in me, but I didn't know what. I only knew that I cared deeply. With each step and each beat of my heart, it became more and more clear just how much I love this earth and how worried I was about her survival. I sensed I had found what propelled me halfway around the world and up those high mountains. It was all I could think about. I wondered when I would be able to speak directly to Rinpoche about my question. How could I ever adequately express what was in my heart and on my mind? Then one day, sitting outside on a small terrace, the opportunity arose. It was sunny and warm after lunch, and Rinpoche turned to us and asked, "What is it like where you come from? Do you have places for retreat in America?" I told him about our lives in the West, struggling to find the words to bridge the differences in our experience. I told him about what was happening to our world, how the earth was in peril, and I shared my deep concern about the radioactive poisoning around Los Alamos National Laboratory, the birthplace of the atomic bomb, just across the Rio Grande Valley from Santa Fe, where I lived. It took some explaining, especially about the half-life of uranium and the amount of time it takes for this deadly substance to deteriorate. He listened carefully and seemed to understand the severity of the problems that we faced. I told him about the way nature has been poisoned and ravaged and about the values of our, quote, civilized world. I shared with him how people are getting sick with cancer as a result of contaminated water and land, and that these substances affect the entire web of life. This is the reality we are living in now. The climate is changing. Everything has changed. The lifespan of radioactive waste is 250,000 years. What are we to do, Rinpoche, to face the hopelessness of this overwhelming situation? What can we do to bring healing and protection to the earth? He asked if there were any people where I come from whose lives were dedicated to spiritual practice. Even just one person can bring benefit to the whole area around where they live, he said. Then he looked directly into my eyes and murmured, "But you need to get some earth treasure vases and put them in the ground. They will do that work." He continued, "Everything comes from the earth. The earth is what gives us everything. So it is good to do this now. Even war and bad illnesses won't come to countries if such a vase is there. The vase transforms the poison. Put them all around the area and it will help. Even putting one is enough." So that's how it began. And now, before I read a little bit more, I'd like to ask my friend Jeffrey, who's here, to share his screen again so that we can receive some incredible video messages from dear friends around the world who David will introduce for you, who have been part of this journey for a long time. Thank you, Jeffrey and David, all of you.
Okay, so our first video is from Brad Laughlin and Linda Tucker in South Africa. Brad and his partner, Leslie Temple Thurston, are co-founders of a spiritual community called Core Light, and helped with the burial of the Earth Treasure Vase for South Africa, where Leslie's from, and Brad lives part-time. They introduced Thea to Linda Tucker, the founder of the Global White Lion Trust, also in South Africa, who joins Brad at the end of this first video. Linda and the White Lions offered a powerful blessing into their vase. Brad, Leslie, and members of Core Light also buried the Earth Treasure Vase in Egypt next to the Great Pyramid on 11/11/11.
Cynthia, congratulations. I am so incredibly happy for you and proud of you. You've completed your book. We have walked this path together for a very long time, and I want to thank you for including me in the Earth Treasure Vase project. I am so grateful, and I feel such immense, I feel so connected to you and feel such a sense of sharing your accomplishment with you, because you invited me to help you bury the vase in South Africa at the Blythe River Canyon, where I live, and also the one in Egypt at the Giza Plateau by the Great Pyramid. And I just need to add how important it's been for me to participate with you in your project, because I have seen the power of your project, seen the power of these little vessels who share their light with the world, and all the love and the spiritual power that people who participate in the Earth Treasure Vase project put into these little vases. And Leslie, my spouse, and we've seen how you have created a grid of light around the earth with all the different locations over the many decades that you've been doing this work. They radiate their light out into the world, and they create a grid of love and a network of light, a mandala around the world. And I have experienced it in meditation. I've seen it. I feel its power, specifically where I live here at the Blythe River Canyon. So it's been an important part of my life for that reason, and I really honor you and the work that you've done, the dedication of your life, putting your passion, your commitment into this particular work. So I also, one more thing, I just want to say, I'm here right now at the Global White Lion Protection Trust with my friend Linda Tucker. And I'm standing here. I thought it was a very auspicious time to offer you this message, because the white lions were such an important part of the vase that was buried here in South Africa. So I'm here today specifically because we've donated this painting of Sekhmet to the Global White Lion Protection Trust. Leslie painted Sekhmet. And Sekhmet is a very important goddess for our times, because she's the ancient Egyptian goddess that was sent to earth by the gods to clean up the rampant evil that had run amok on earth. And so that's why I say she's a goddess for our times. And I know you also represent that divine feminine energy, specifically the fierce love that comes through the divine feminine. It's one very important aspect of the divine feminine. And Sekhmet also is representative of the connection between the Giza Plateau and right here at the White Lion Protection Trust in Timbavati, South Africa. It's connected by the Nilotic Meridian, one of maybe the primary Earth meridian. So I think she represents that connection between the White Lions and the Giza Plateau, the ancient Egyptian connection. So I just needed to mention the auspiciousness of this moment, and that I'm thinking of you, sending you so much love, and again, congratulations from the bottom of my heart. I'm so grateful to you and so proud of you.
Cynthia, I would love to add my congratulations. I know I've felt you every full moon, the vases being anchored in our beloved Gaia as these points of light around the globe, all that's gone into it by way of treasuring, honoring revering. And I just want to thank you as well. And how amazing to have brought out this book at this time, so significant. I can just imagine all that has gone into that. It's no doubt a treasure of a book, and we've been celebrating your success together.
Okay, next we're going to hear from Nima Namaduma in Congo. Nima Namaduma Damu is the incredible woman who answered Cynthia's call and helped her bring an Earth Treasure Vase to the Democratic Republic of Congo. She now directs Hero Women Rising and has become a great leader in Congo and the world on behalf of women, girls, and the disabled. The Earth Treasure Vase in Congo was offered to heal the rape of women and the land, and was planted there in the second largest rainforest in the world in connection with the Pygmy people.
Hey everyone, this will be a long journey and big, and the sacrifice is in. In 2012, my dear sister Cynthia, she came on a mission in Congo. When she read a Bukavu, was the people telling her we were not going in Itombe forest. But Cynthia, she's a woman with purpose. Anyway, we went, and it was welcoming with indigenous people, and we buried the treasure vase in Itombe forest. That was amazing. That mission, that all prayer around the world, the people put on a vessel the prayer, and we bury in Itombe forest. Until today, people, indigenous people, they can't forget her name is Cynthia Jory. And now, after that, last month, she called me, she said, Nema, I give to you. She signed the book. This was amazing work she did. Really, I wanted to congratulate her. Congratulations, my dear sister. This is big to us, and you are building the bridge between us and the new generation. Thank you so much for getting this work out, and really, I think everyone will be blessed to read this book. Thank you.
Okay, we're hearing now from Harper Carmen and Christian Bethelson from Liberia. Harper Carmen is a peace builder and a filmmaker. Christian Bethelson is a former rebel general who became a peace builder, and his process of transformation due to learning the practice of mindfulness first from Cynthia, then from Thich Nhat Hanh and his community, has been one of the greatest stories to emerge from the Earth Treasure Vase practice. Together with Cynthia and Alliance for the Earth, Christian and Harper founded the Peace Hut Alliance for Conflict Transformation, and they've worked with Cynthia for over a decade.
Dear brothers and sisters, friends of the world, I greet you on this day of the launching of this unique book written by our teacher, Cynthia Jory. We are happy to be a part of this occasion, and it reminds me of 2009 when she first came to Liberia. It was an amazing thing to see her riding with us on that very rough road to Lofa County where the Earth Treasure Vase was buried. This occasion had in attendance people from Guinea, Sierra Leone, and Liberia. It is evident that the prayers and offerings of all of those at that occasion is now radiating to all of this country, evident by the peace we are experiencing now. We are so grateful to that. That wasn't the end of that, but also most especially meeting and sowing a seed into a rebel general who was called Leper. That seed has germinated also into me and many other people into this country and other parts of the world. The seed transformed Mr. Christian Bethelson, and the practice of mindfulness is into him totally. His entire life is a mindful life. And it's true instrumentality of our teacher, Cynthia Jory. We are grateful. on this day, as the book is launched, we are telling you that every part of this book you see that concerns us is the fight. We are a full participation of everything that has been written in our name. We'd like to thank you all for being a part of this ceremony. And we say, please, let's honor this book and give it all of the necessary attention it needs. Thank you very much.
Dear Teacher Cynthia, dear friends, dear body support around the world, I just want to everyone, and I want to be grateful for this time today, and I'm happy to be here. Today I'm in the practice. Today I have taken the 14 mindfulness training to be an OI member, a member of Interbeing, and I did the 5 mindfulness practice with you. It has been a long journey, and to see me, Teacher Cynthia, I know from the beginning of life, and to see me in this and this period, you know, it happened a very terrible time, you know, when I was desperate. Can you imagine you went and trained a rebel general, you know, to train this rebel general to come to the practice of mindfulness, you know, and to stabilize him, like you're trying to team a leopard, you know, in the bush, and brought a leopard to town, and you team this leopard. I'm so honored and grateful to your practice, you know, your teaching, and multiple times, you know, I went to Plum Village and you trained me, so I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, your teaching it have changed my life. It have brought some transformation in my life, and I'm grateful to you, Teacher Cynthia. I'm absolutely grateful that today, oh my goodness, today, that PTSD, that desperateness that was in me, it has been transformed to a normal person. And the extraction of it, you know, in Liberia, in Wanyama, you know, in northern Liberia, you went there multiple times. You know, you are so brave and courageous. You are brave. I don't want to just recommend to the war. I just want to recommend to the war, you know, for the Nobel Peace Prize, because you did it. You did it for us. You did it for Africa. You did it for the entire war. You know, you bring your awareness to the war. You practice to the war. To your Cynthia. And today, here we are. You got a book that is coming out, you know, pretty soon. And in fact, the book is here, and I'm honored. You know, I'm so grateful to touch that seed, you know, of mindfulness, to touch that seed of forgiveness, you know, forgiving myself, and come to the practice of mindfulness. It has been a very long time. It was just not possible. Even when I was crazy, you know, you still stood your ground. Come on, you're so brave and courageous. You know, I'm like, wow, Teacher Cynthia, you capture me alive, you know, and train me. If I'm a saint, if I'm a see far above my fellow friend, I might have stood on the shadow of giant. I might have stood on the shoulder of giant, Teacher Cynthia. You have been that giant in my life. You have been the source of transformation in my life. You have been that person, Teacher Cynthia. You changed my life from rebel general to a peace general. What magic you perform? You know, it's so incredible, you know, and I'm so happy. I just want to just say, Teacher Cynthia, may you win the Nobel Peace Prize. You are a peace general. I want to salute you, and you are so wonderful. Thank you so much for bringing awareness into the world. Thank you, General Cynthia Juice.
Hey, we're hearing now from Therese Hogan in New Zealand, originally from Australia, now living in New Zealand. Cynthia met Therese on the first Earth Treasure Base pilgrimage to Australia. It was Therese who connected Cynthia to Auntie Margaret, Catherine, the Aboriginal elder, that connected all of us as a global family. Therese has been a close member of this community ever since, and she stewarded an Earth Treasure Vase to New Zealand.
Hello, dear Cynthia. Hello, dear Earth Treasure Vase family. It's Therese here calling in, connecting in from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Joining you in the excitement and joy and love of this moment of welcoming your book into the world sharing the excitement of these stories and the teachings of the Earth Treasure Vase being shared more widely. I can say for myself that your teaching, Cynthia, and the Earth Treasure Vase practice have helped me to deepen my connection with the living Mother Earth, to hone my listening, and have been the foundation of my devotional practice to the Earth. So I had the good fortune of meeting you and connecting with this Earth Treasure Vase practice just over 10 years ago. That was the journey of the vase placement in Australia, in Bindaluk in Jawoyn country, in the central north of Australia. And that was the journey where we met Mama Margaret Catherine, my friend and teacher and grandmother through the kinship system. And the minute she saw you, Cynthia, I remember that she said, "I'm coming with you guys," and she just jumped in the troopy, no bags packed. She was in the wagon with us and off, and she guided us so beautifully around country and helped us to dive into a really deep, heartfelt kinship connection with each other, with the country, with the whole earth and all of life, in a way that activated something in the mandala. It was a journey which felt like it brought the mandala to a wholeness, to a completion. That was the last of the first generation of Earth Treasure Vases, and from there it's rippled out. So it's been my honour to be involved in the placement of the Earth Treasure Vase in Aotearoa, a journey where we connected with Lama Tsultrim on this land as well, and also to join you in Delphi in Greece for the placement of the Earth Treasure Vase there, and in Tuscany for the first of the in-person retreats, helping us to connect more deeply with Mother Gaia. So it's been a real wonderful journey, a journey of deep connection, deep learnings, deep listening. It's a joy to continue to support the stewards on their journey, and I know that this book will help me to deepen my connection and help us all in the work that we do in coming into right relation with the earth, healing what needs to be healed, and going forward from this heart space. So thank you so much for your work, for your devotion, for all that you've brought to us so far and all that's to come. Alaloho.
Hey, we're going to hear now from Nicole Rosaria in Ohio. Nicole works closely with Cynthia and the team at the hub of the Gaia Mandala. She's a big, beautiful part of our community. She lives in Ohio. After being deeply involved with the Earth Treasure Vase for Serpent Mound in Ohio, she then assisted with 2 more Earth Treasure Vases, Delphi in Greece, and the vase stewarded by Valeria Felsi for Italy, Nicole's ancestral homeland.
Hello, family. My name is Nicole Rosaria Minyari, and I'm reaching out to you from Ohio in Turtle Island. I am very grateful to say that I work closely with Cynthia and with Rasul and Rick at the hub of the Mandala, and that I've been really blessed to support and be a part of the stewardship of the Serpent Mound vase in Ohio, the Delphi Greece vase, and the Italy vase. So I would like to offer my blessing to these little book butterflies that are about to fly out into the world, and to give my love and blessing to Cynthia, honoring all of your devotional work over all these decades. May you thoroughly enjoy this moment and all that comes after with a full heart. So this is a chrysalis, and I'm imagining that each little book is sprouting its wings, and they're gonna fly all over the planet, wherever they are needed in service to life. And I'd like to offer this song that we sing to each other here in our circles when we want to bless our way forward. Fly, fly, little butterfly, fly to the calling of your spirit. Fly free and purposefully. I know you are held in love. Fly, fly, little butterflies, fly to the calling of your spirit. Fly free and purposefully. I know you are held in love. Sending my love to all of you. Bye-bye.
And now we're going to hear from Cynthia Lazaroff in New York City. Cynthia Lazaroff and Cynthia Dewars have been friends since the 1980s when they traveled to Russia as part of a group telepathy experiment in Track 2 diplomacy. Cynthia Lazaroff is a leading expert on Russian-American relations and is stewarding an Earth Treasure vase to the Bering Strait.
Dearest Cynthia, over these 42 years that I have known you, it has been an honor, a privilege, and pure joy to witness the blossoming of your extraordinary life of service, sacred activism, and devotion. From the moment we first met, I was inspired by your devotion. I remember watching you in those early days, pass by my window in the morning, hands folded in prayer, on your way to the little Japanese tea house to sit in meditation. And I remember sitting in circle with you in the telepathy experiment, witnessing you sending love with all of your heart to dear ones in Soviet Georgia, and then blessing them and all the Soviet people we met with your love as we traveled together in a sacred act of citizen diplomacy at the height of the Cold War. And then you started convening full moon gatherings inspired by the telepathy experiment. And then to witness the birth of the blessed Earth Treasure Vows practice. I was deeply honored to join you and dear friends in the early 2000s in ETV ceremonies for Biosphere 2 and the coral reefs of the planet in Papua New Guinea. And then in summer 2019, to be summoned by you to steward an Earth Treasure vase for the Bering Strait, dedicated to my life's work for peace with Russia. What a profound honor. And what an extraordinary journey to be on with you and the dear ones on the Steward Council and the Global Healing Mandala for the planet. And now, dear Cynthia, to witness the full expression of the blossoming of your life of service as we gather together to celebrate the long-awaited publication of your book. Just as you were summoned, you have summoned all of us. And now, with the gift of your book, you summon the world. On this day, we say deep bows of gratitude. We honor you. We celebrate you. We bless you. We love you. And we'll be cheering you on, dear Cynthia. May your book touch hearts, open minds, and awaken people everywhere. May it be so. Mwah.
Oh my gosh. I've seen them before, but only once, and so moving. I need a moment, David, to recover myself before I go on.
Yeah, take a breath, Cynthia. It's a lot to take in.
And there's more of you in this circle who I'm very much looking forward to hearing from. And I did receive one more video just this morning from my beloved dear brother from India, Shantam Seth, who was part of the pilgrimage to bury the vase at the source of the Ganges. So for those of you who might like to stay after the formal part of this program is over and share more, linger longer, I'll share that video and would love to hear from you as you are moved. Anyway, thank you all. You know, some of you have never met or seen Bethelson and Harper in Liberia or Nema Namadamu in Congo. You know, these people, these stories, these events and experiences are all in my book. They have been a big part of this journey and continue to be. So I hope that one day we can all meet in person. But for now, you'll just have to read about them in my book. And now I'm going to take you into a chapter called 1,000 Arms. Burdened by the enormous assignment I had taken on, I often felt alone. Yet I was possessed by a sense of purpose I could not shake. And I knew that one way or another, I had to make it happen. With the state of the world breathing down my neck, I heroically muscled through, even though under the surface, I had terrible feelings of inadequacy. The lamas in the Himalayas had told me to just plant the vases in the ground and they'll do the work. But they gave me no guidance after I left Nepal, and I was not authorized in the traditional way. I imagined there were others within the tradition who wondered, who does she think she is? So I kept a low profile and I just felt my way, not really knowing what in the world to do or how to do it, only that I had to do it right for the sake of all beings. I was striving hard to do it all myself, to heal the entire world and bring all the broken places back into wholeness. That's naturally what women do, right? I accepted this task was mine to do, and I was happy and grateful I had something so meaningful to pour my heart into. But as the job became global in scope, there came a time when I realized I could not keep going without support. I was used to doing everything myself, and I did not know how to ask for help. When others started offering to take vases, I was relieved. A creative response was being catalyzed in us as a group. It seemed like the locations where the vases were going embodied some of the most pressing issues to be healed today. We did not decide where the vases should go. We simply responded to the requests and suggestions that presented themselves when we met each full moon. Then it all came to, whoops, I'm going to skip this part, just moving right along. Like the 1,000 arms of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, a larger community formed around the treasure vases, with more and more of us answering the call. Our little Sangha was quietly becoming a global healing community. Avalokiteshvara is known as the one who hears the cries of the world and responds in countless ways. I was immensely relieved not to have to distribute the vases entirely on my own, and grateful to those who stepped forward to help serve the mission. About Avalokiteshvara, Buddhist scholar Vesantara writes in Meeting the Buddhas, a guide to Buddhas, bodhisattvas, and tantric deities, each of the arms is reaching out to help suffering beings. And from the palm of each hand, a beautiful eye gazes down compassionately. Vesantara sees Avalokiteshvara as a symbol for the spiritual community, with each person reaching out in their own life to offer their talents and capabilities, yet they also work in concert, united in their common vision, a perfect symbol for the blending of unity and diversity. I came to realize that part of the global healing called for is rethinking the belief in the West that we must do everything individually. Systemic change will require a massive movement, not unlike Arab Spring, only bigger. The vase in Egypt that Brad mentioned was buried right before Arab Spring, and then that happened. I was personally moving away from the old destructive patriarchal worldview to finding solidarity with others. My time of solo striving was giving way to a collective responsiveness unlike anything I had ever seen or experienced before. I saw that the Bodhisattva of compassion needs 1,000 arms to accomplish the great task of alleviating suffering in every direction. And so does Gaia. In order to accomplish the task of global healing in these dire times, we simply must unite in our efforts. Gaia was asking for a collective awakening. Thich Nhat Hanh had pointed to this one memorable day during a retreat at Plum Village in 1993, when he told us in no uncertain terms, it is possible that the next Buddha will not take the form of an individual. The next Buddha may take the form of a Sangha, a community practicing understanding and love, a community practicing mindful living. This may be the most important thing we can do for the survival of the earth. As his words rippled out into the group gathered there, you could hear a pin drop. It felt prophetic. He was recognizing the path of awakening for our times. We were going to need to wake up together. I have a little bit more I'd like to read, but we could go on and hear from some of these wonderful people in our circle who have been invited to share something.
Okay.
Maybe, David, we could do a few of them and then I could read a little bit more and then finish up. How does that sound?
Sounds great, Cynthia. Okay. So I'd love to invite forward here Sarah Drew. Sarah is the acclaimed author of the visionary novel Gaia Codex and a dear friend of Cynthia's who was among the first to suggest that she ought to write a book. Sarah, please come forward.
So wonderful to be here and celebrating you, Cynthia, and just feeling the emanation of this incredible mandala that's been created with the Earth Treasure Vase. One of the things, and we've talked about this, that I really feel with this treasure of a book that is one of the emanations, if you will, of the mandala of the treasure vases, is that it will be a profound teaching story that will be treasured by people 100 years from now, maybe 500 years from now. And it will give them insight, and this is my sense, into, I hope, are some of the profound changes that were seeded and started in these times. And so I really think of this book and of this incredible task, this dharmic task that you've completed and that continues to ripple out, Cynthia, as a hologram that is existing in multiple dimensions. And its resonance is far, wide, omnidirectional. And it's such a blessing to have met you and to continue our deep sisterhood, our deep dharmic connection, and to be in service to this larger vision. I love you, and in these upcoming years, may the book go into as many hands as possible, all the different beings that are waiting.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Okay, so now we're going to hear from Gay and Laser. These next dear friends of Cynthia, Gay Alling from the US and Mark Van Thillo, aka Laser, from Belgium, were part of the extraordinary team that built and lived inside of the Biosphere 2 in Oracle, Arizona. And that experiment ended tragically, but afterwards they requested an Earth Treasure Vase to bring healing to the Biosphere, and then later took another Earth Treasure Vase to be buried, so to speak, in the South Pacific Ocean. with their research vessel, MIR, on the water and a beautiful eco center they built in Bali. They're dedicated to protecting the ocean, the coral reefs, and restoring the land through their Biosphere Foundation. Gay and Laser, welcome.
Thank you, Cynthia. What a moment. Hearing these stories, and I've known you over 2 decades, and watched you almost begin this journey. I remember meeting you at a party, and I was, being bright and happy, and you just drew out of me immediately what's going on with you, and I just broke down with the sorrow of what had happened to the only other biosphere we've ever known other than the Earth's biosphere, which was Biosphere 2. And I recognized in you that we're both summoned by the Earth. We, in our own ways, have been trying and bringing forth the best we can to bring light through the darkness of these times. You picked me up and said, how can I help? And we got onto the treasure base. And there is a beautiful treasure base at the foothills of the Catalina Mountains in Arizona for Biosphere 2 and for the Earth's biosphere.
Mhm.
The other biosphere that we embarked on was for the indicator to the health of our biosphere coral reefs. I have found that in my lifetime, I believe in miracles because it's so easy to fall off the path. It's so easy to feel I'm not the right one and to feel it's just an impossible journey. And we've held hands and we've grown together and we dared. We dared to just launch all those years ago and go, we can do this. It's our calling. And it's very beautiful to have watched you become such a leader. I love what you just wrote. It's so true. The great, great times that we are living in is about the Sangha. It is about gathering together and daring to love, daring to say, we can do this, daring to rise above these challenges that are real and we're facing every day, to bring forth miracles through love, intelligence, and compassion. And your vase, they are vases that light up the world and bring us all to feel healed or a part of this journey. They're also, it's a vessel for us to manifest. And so you've given me the Sangha of this moment through your vase, which is incredibly powerful.
Mm.
I love being by your side. It's been a great honor.
Oh, as the sun is rising here in the east, I see through your video the sun going down there and the lights, but they are the same light beams that are hitting us all and the earth in between. Congratulations, Cynthia. Wow, what a feat. I fondly remember Egum Rock and the people of Egum Rock, us building the underwater casing that the vase had to go into, which we then put down on the coral reef. It was so much fun, with Hugh there, our crew, Egum Rock people. Yes, community, that's so beautiful. I can't wait to read the book. Lovely to be part of this. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. It's so great you could come. Thank you so much for everything that you've done to contribute to this global mandala.
Thank you guys so much. So I want to invite Elizabeth Christine now to share some words. Elizabeth lives near Cynthia in Santa Fe, at the center of the mandala in the Tewa world. She's been a devoted member of the Gaia Mandala Alliance for the Earth and the Open Way Sangha since the Earth Treasure Vase went to Congo in 2012. She was a big part of the Australia pilgrimage with Auntie Margaret. She stewarded a vase to Canada. She's helped support many Earth Treasure Vase stewards over the years. and she now leads the Monday Mindfulness Meditation group twice a month. Elizabeth.
Thank you so much. What an honor to be here at the center of the mandala with you, Cynthia. And it's been truly life-changing and wonderful. And I want to acknowledge, you know, how the fulfillment of the mandate given by Charak Rinpoche to plant earth treasure vases in places of need has fed the resurrection of the earth. And she's rising now, even as we speak, you know, from the ashes of politically divided and human domination. And I just want to recognize again, other people have pointed to this, but how your journeys around the world have created a Sangha that so many take refuge in. It is so beautiful. And it's a place for us to speak and discover our heart prayers, you know, and give them into the matrix of change. And some of this powerful story that you've created is known, but so much of it extends beyond our awareness. You know, it flows with other streams of healing throughout Gaia. And I joined the full moon meditations when they were still in your sacred space there on the full moons, and helped to send off the last 5 of the first generation vases, and was blessed to be present for the burial of the last of these in Northern Territory, Australia. And that was life-altering. And I just was remembering how we all felt the significance of your bearing the 29th vase. And we felt like this was the completion of your task. And and so it was just like this moment of how do we celebrate it? And then when we gathered after our celebratory dinner, and it was the last evening, and we were sitting on the grass outside, and you said, I have something to share, and you pull out 2 of the second generation vases from your backpack and, you know, told us that more were coming. And that was just like this astounding moment. And so that just right when the last of the first generation was buried, the second generation was revealed and seeded in Australia. And with these second and third generation earth treasure vases, so many people have been summoned to carry a vase. And these vases are so powerful in all of our lives, you know, and it's so emotional feeling it, but they just shattered the last shreds of materialistic blindness, and they have connected us to the living being of Gaia. And many of us have just taken up the long forgotten practices of making offerings to the earth. You know, you really initiated this, and have helped us to know that we are holy vessels. And we have learned to take refuge in the earth and to allow her to take refuge in us. And so this in itself just has been a healing of great magnitude. So thank you.
Yeah. Go ahead, David.
I was just saying you were on mute there. I don't know if you were saying something.
Oh, sorry about that. Just thank you so much, Elizabeth. So good to have you with me by my side, by all of our side. Such an important part of this mandala.
Thanks, Elizabeth. So we're going to hear now from Christian Lee. Christian worked with Cynthia when the Alliance for the Earth first got started and the Earth Treasure Vase practice was just beginning to grow. She's here today because of her extraordinary work as the masterful editor of Summoned by the Earth. She worked closely with Cynthia to guide the process of birthing this book into the world. Christian, please.
Ooh. I'm so happy and excited that I'm pretty sure all of you can hear my heart galloping at the moment. Can't believe we made it. We're here, Cynthia, in this moment of celebration, and I'm just really grateful to be with all of you in this circle. And I think what I wanted to share today is that more than an editor, I'm a story midwife. And I learned so much about what that actually means through attending Cynthia in her labors and in accompanying her along the path in a wild creative process. And what I learned was so much about the power of story, and really the deeper we went into the process, the more I came to see how I was holding space for the possibility of our healed future, particularly the parts of our healed future that Cynthia is carrying. And the deeper we went in the process, I could see and understand so powerfully that all of us are carrying a story that is a gift to community. And if we can be brave enough, as I was watching Cynthia, encounter obstacle after obstacle and come to her own bravery moment after moment to descend into her depths and touch the story that she was carrying and touch the truth. And in that, I could see that our stories are truly a gift from the future. And with this book, with Summoned, I think Summoned is this baby is saying so much to us about the future. And some of you have already touched on it, like that we're going to move from hierarchical dynamics of power into the we, into knowing our sovereignty as individuals and coming together to work for collective awakening. And the other pieces of that healed future, I feel so palpable and present with this book, is the healing of the feminine within all of us. And then the healing of the sacred and our most primary relationship with Earth. And as we came closer to the birthing, I felt what was happening, I guess as it was that Cynthia, obstacles are inevitable. And what I felt was happening was that Cynthia was coming closer and closer to the truth and standing in her truth and accessing her own healing and power to stand in the truth. And I have to say, after seeing her do this, I know what she's made of. I know the fiber of this woman. She is courageous. She is fierce care and love and determination, and so committed to this vow that she made to Gaia. And I have to say that standing with your truth that much, in that much heat, as we came near the end, I have to say that I think Cynthia became the truth. It's not, a truth or whatever. She became the truth, and like transparent, what was inside of her became transparent to the world. And I can just see, and like, what a gift, Cynthia, to, in terms of my own summons from the earth, like to be with you in your story
and then the bringing of this story into the world. It's just, I am so grateful, and I hold you in the highest regard for being that brave and steadfast in your truth, and being willing and doing the work to bring some of the healed future that much closer to us today. Thank you, my sister.
I couldn't have done it without you, Christian. This woman is amazing. She helped me so much. And your words today move me deeply. Thank you.
I love you.
Thank you so much, Christian. Beautiful. So last but most definitely not least, Hugh Weir. Hugh is Cynthia's husband and partner in life and work. Professionally, Hugh is a gifted healer, veterinarian, and acupuncturist. He founded the original nonprofit Animal Alliance that eventually became Alliance for the Earth. And he's participated in every full moon Earth Treasure Base meditation for 25 years when they're in person, and helped steward a number of the early vases with Cynthia. He's always here, though rarely online, but without Hugh, none of this would have been possible, and the book would never have been written. Hugh, we want to hear from you.
Hello, everybody. Hi. Wow, it's so grateful. I feel so grateful to be here now in this circle of this auspicious circle of lovers of the world, brethren, friends. Oh, it's great to be here. And everything that everybody said about Cynthia is so true. And I could say a million things, but I just really want to say that Cynthia poured her spirit, her heart, and her body into this book. She lived it. And I'm just really happy to celebrate this accomplishment. Cynthia dreamed me into her life over 30 years ago. You'll have to read the story for all the sexy details. But we got together, and shortly after we got together, a big, great big box came from Nepal filled with these Earth Treasure vases. And shortly, not too long after that, Thich Nhat Hanh married us. And ever since then, we've been walking, talking, living, breathing, and going down this rainbow path together. And it's been an amazing life. Cynthia supported me in my work for over 20 years with animals, with work with elephants and sea turtles and all around the world. And it was only my great joy to reciprocate and support her. Yeah, bury these beautiful vases all over the world. This beautiful blue-green planet that we call home, as Cynthia says all the time. And we really, at the beginning, we were kind of stumbling, but over the years, we've hit a stride, and Cynthia's really hit a stride. And I'm just, so happy that this book is completed. It's taken many, many moons and longer than an elephant to have a baby, but it's here now. And thanks to all of you and many, many others that aren't here, we can launch this book today, and with our prayers and thoughts that this book will reach the people and the hearts around the world that it needs to meet, that it needs to help change their perspective, and to bring them into this big circle, this circle of people that love the world. I love you, my dear.
Thank you, Hugh. You have been my constant companion and incredible partner in doing all of this. And many of you have never even had a chance to meet him. So it's wonderful to have you here in the circle today. And thank you so much for all that you said.
Hey, come to Santa Fe for Cynthia's workshop and retreat, and we can all meet.
That's right. In June, we're having a convergence for those of you who don't know, and you're welcome to come.
We
love
definitely should have sent out a warning to bring Kleenex to this call, I think. That one's getting to me. Cynthia, are we ready to do our blessing meditation?
Well, I'd love to read just a tiny
Oh,
bit
yeah.
more, if that's okay with you all. I think we
Of
have
course.
time. So, in thinking about this call today, you know, and just being with so many of you who are in the Gaia Mandala community, the things that I have excerpted are really all about us, you know, about this collective awakening that we are in the midst of on behalf of Mother Gaia. So this part is from a chapter called Indra's Net. As we took on the assignment of global healing more and more deeply, our collective prayers for healing and protection began to take root in the body of Mother Earth. And when the Earth Treasure Vase was planted in Auntie Margaret's ancestral land in Australia, our global healing mandala came to life as a whole. This living mandala, with all its nodes radiating light in every direction, reminded me of the Buddhist teaching of Indra's net. This teaching, illustrating the interconnectedness of all things, is found in the Avatamsaka Sutra, or flower ornament scripture, where abstract truths like the idea that the whole universe may be reflected in a particle of dust symbolically convey the vast range of Buddhist teachings. Thich Nhat Hanh describes Indra's net like this. Indra's net is a vast cosmic lattice that contains precious jewels wherever the threads cross. There are millions of jewels strung together to make the net, and each jewel has many facets. When you look at any facet of any one jewel, you can see all the other jewels reflected in it. In the world of the Avatamsaka, in Indra's net, the one is present in the all, and the all is present in the one. This wonderful image was used in Buddhism to illustrate the principle of interdependence and interpenetration. Like those jewels, it is through each other's reflection that we experience our wholeness. When we each feel that we are being witnessed, the net sparkles with awareness and healing feels possible. But if it feels like the world is not present or our community is not holding us in our suffering, then we feel hopeless and isolated. We are a microcosm of Indra's net in both our beauty and our pain. The Earth Treasure Vases offer us a way to collectively bear witness to the truth of suffering and our commitment to heal it. We may be conditioned by patriarchal views to believe this is not enough, but this bearing witness is the critical first step. Seeing clearly together, feeling together, remembering the infinite reflections within Indra's net, we see we are not alone. Operating within an awakened collective, anything is possible. Each of us is a jewel radiating light in every direction, like each treasure vase filled with infinite potential on every node of the mandala. Living and practicing the way of awareness teaches us to work different muscles than the ones we're conditioned to believe are going to get us where we need to go. It's easy to fall back into our collective agreement that the world is a terrible mess and there's nothing we can do about it. The dominant culture tells us this every day. But our awareness, especially when cultivated collectively, gives us another view. The mycelial network shows us how we can work to restore balance to the web of life. To be planetary healers, we must choose to focus our attention with all our hearts on the path of restoration, and to imagine that the healing is accomplished and the vitality of the earth is completely restored. Looking into the vast web of interbeing and recognizing each other, reflecting back the beauty and goodness that is our true nature, like the sparkling jewels of Indra's net, we see we are not separate and can trust we are arriving at a collective awakening. The implications of collective awakening are shattering to our sense of individuality. Our identification with a separate sense of self will no longer be the organizing principle for life on Earth. Our evolution as a species and as a planetary culture depends not only on our realization of this, but our embodiment of it. Living our lives in profoundly transformed way and connecting our communities in service to Mother Earth is where hope can be found. This was the assignment I was given, and I was compelled to continue through thick and thin because of what our Earth is going through. Over and over, I have been brought to my knees to bow down in honor of the glorious cycles of nature that have guided me on this path. I'm in awe of the little yellow wildflowers valiantly poke up from the dry red dirt here in New Mexico every spring. And just the other day, I was stunned to witness a brilliant rainbow around the sun as it set in the western sky. Running to the highest hill in that sublime moment, I beheld a divine pink hue spreading over the land as the space above turned red, then purple, and a heavenly deep blue with a hint of green, radiating out on the clouds high above, the whole world bathed in rapturous light. We need to do much to restore balance wherever we are. It will take lifetimes, generations to accomplish. But what else is there to do? This is the work of our times, and we must dedicate ourselves to it region by region. Slowly, slowly, step by step, we shall arrive, feeding the spirit of life on earth, not the spirit of destruction. As the old story crumbles around us, we each have the opportunity to turn and face the light of a new day. With eyes open, standing up tall, we will do whatever we can to protect beauty and heal suffering. Alalaho. May it be so.
Thank you so much, Cynthia. I think we're all overflowing here. So we're going to take all of this into a meditation now to bless this book project. So I want to invite you all to close your eyes. And let's all take a few deep breaths together. And just noticing those places that have been touched in you, moved in you by all this powerful sharing and giving room to whatever has been awakened. Letting all your feelings and energies be here just as they are. Please breathe with the earth. Feeling your breath come into deeper resonance with the natural rhythms of Earth. Please breathe with the cosmos, letting your breath come into resonance with the natural rhythms and cycles of the planets and the stars. Please breathe with the mystery at the source of all reality and at the center of each one of us. Invite you to extend your awareness to our group field, our circle, our shared presence. Visualizing us gathered in a large circle. And on the inside circumference of this circle, please visualize a filter of golden light, like a cylinder of light that reaches down to the earth and up to the heavens, carrying our shared intention of keeping our inner core sacred. And I want to invite you now to start to connect with the experience you have when you feel that you want to wish another a blessing. Sensing that high impulse that can come from a very deep place inside, from our hearts. When we want to help to open a channel of connection between that person and the divine. I invite you to feel that impulse within you as a pure white and golden light. Your blessing power. And to feel this blessing power from within you, this white and golden light, start to radiate out now from your heart into the center of our circle, passing through that filter of light and feeling these very pure beams of light carrying our blessing power, coming closer together, joining together, intermingling, dancing together, and creating now a very powerful blessing star. I want to invite you now, Cynthia, to imagine that you're coming into the very center of our circle, you and your book, and being seated underneath this blessing star. And feeling that from this blessing star, showering this blessing light now onto you, onto your book. Carrying the sincere and deepest blessings of each one of us. And through this blessing star and its blessing light, we invoke together the grace from the higher realms, the deities of the Tibetan Buddhist tradition and others. Tara, Avalokiteshvara, and especially the blessings from Mother Gaia, whom you've served so faithfully and passionately. Om Gaia Mandala Siddhi Phala Brahm A. Om Gaia Mandala Siddhi Phala Brahm A. Om Gaia Mandala Siddhi Phala Brahm A. Please now, let us all imagine this blessing light carrying this book out of this circle and into the world. See it growing those butterfly wings and being carried far and wide across the planet. See and feel it reaching just those people who most need to hear its message. Trusting the intelligence and magic of this light to take it where it most needs to go.
Thank you.
We're now going to hear from Liza Jane Alexander.
Om Gaya Mandala Siddhi Palabruma 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 Om Gaya City Palabru. Om Gaya Mandala. 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 City Palabru. Alalaho.
Alalaho. So, Razul, please take us home.
Oh, God, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Where is that, Rasul?
I'm here. I'm here just basking in the goodness for which we are about to dedicate, extending it outwards. Your life's work, its continuation, the grace of it all, the beauty, astounding of it all. And so, with great honor and gratitude, I'd like to offer up the dedication of merit. Practicing the way of awareness gives rise to benefits without limit. We vow to share the fruits with all beings. We vow to offer tribute to parents, teachers, friends, and numerous beings who give guidance and support along the path. We do not cling in any way to the virtue and goodness we have generated. In order that all beings may benefit from it, we dedicate it in the realm of totality. This virtue and all virtue gathered in the three times, we dedicate, as all Buddhas do, to supreme, non-residing awakening. May we attain the state of union in this life.
Thank you all from the depths of my heart for this beautiful, beautiful gathering. And the book thanks you too. The book is very excited now. The book is jumping up and down, ready to go into all these places, just like all the treasure bases. It's like, okay, I got a job to do. Oh, thank you, Julian. Oh my God, that was so beautiful. David, the meditation was profound. And Liza Jane, your voice just slays me every time. So, for those of you who would like to linger longer, please do. And we'll show the video from Shantam Seth, who I would love for you to meet. And I would very much love to hear from members of this community in the circle, and my sisters who are here, if they have anything to say, and all my sisters around the planet, and my brothers and beings, and you all who sustain me. In the way that you have engaged with this practice of global healing and the invitation to collective awakening on behalf of Mother Gaia in these times. So, alalaho, isn't it wonderful? I've got to get my power cord because my battery is red. But give me just a moment and I'll be right back. And again, for those of you who would need to leave, I totally understand and thank you. And for those of you who would like to linger a little longer, we'll stick around for a little bit longer. Alalaho.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Oopsie. So here we are. We're still here. For some of you, like Rick and Valeria, I know it's the middle of the night, so maybe we can open the circle for sharing from some of you who are braving the wee hours. And then we'll show this video, and then we'll hear from the rest of you who would like to say something. How does that sound, Rasul? If you would like to, just unmute yourself and we will see you, and you are invited to share what's coming up, what's on your heart.
Shall I kick us off?
Yes, my dear Rick.
It's, yeah, wow. Well, let's see if I can give words to what I'm feeling. Just such gratitude for being here in this moment and for being part of this momentous moment, actually, Cynthia. Like I've been only witnessing you the past 2 years, moving on with the book, but I know it's been several years more than that, and decades of work that is preceding it. And one of the big joys for me being here today and just meeting some of the people you've spoke about so many times, but now actually witnessing it on video just gives me even more a sense of the stream that I'm part of, that we're part of, a stream that continues to flow forth as the river that it is. And I think for me, that the book is now here will give me and hopefully so many other people the opportunity to understand what kind of stream this is and how to be part of that stream. And the stream is not only the community that we are, the stream is not only the Earth Treasure Vases. It's a vehicle, it's an instrument of stepping into that larger stream, which is Gaia, which is the web of life, and to find our own ways of stepping into that oneness, right? And I just really feel the presence here, the presence of the book, and the medicine that it can bring and that it can give, and which it already has been doing for me, with being part of this community and being here. And the only other thing that I would like to mention is that I've met you, Cynthia, and David, actually, when I was locked up in my flat in Barcelona at that time during COVID, during Corona. And that's how it all started. And I've made so many prayers at that time to find my own way to become part of change. And I have found a very big gateway of contributing through this practice, through this work, through this community. And I just feel, yeah, my heart overflows with gratitude. May many more momentous moments come.
Maybe so. Thank you so much for being here, Rick. Who else would like to share your voice?
I will, if possible.
Please.
First of all, thank you so much for this gathering tonight. And I'm so honored to be to be summoned by the earth through you, Cynthia, and to join with all these beautiful people around the world, and hearing about the book you're reading and connecting to all these people is really helping me remember the all of the calling that I received, that we received. It's like, again, receiving a blessing that we received and I received when becoming a steward. And it's just, I feel just grateful for that, and that you were able to give birth to such an experience, not only for yourself, but for so many people of different countries and cultures. And thank you for the meditation, because I could really feel how important it is, the meditation itself. And what we do when we meditate, now with the books and with the moon and the vases, how much it amplifies and make it real, etherically real things before they manifest. So it was really powerful, that meditation with the star. And I could really feel the light coming down and blessing this creature, this beautiful creation of yours. And just that, I'm so happy, grateful, and honored to be part of this community and to have met you during COVID. And thank you for that. And thank you all for organizing this beautiful party, soul party. So
thank you, Valeria, for just recently burying a treasure vase in Italy that we have all been pouring our hearts into for many moons now. And your stewardship of that treasure vase has been beautiful to watch. And I'm so happy that Italy is now a member of our global mandala, bringing its blessings to the world. And you. Thank you. Yes, Liza Jane in Tennessee. Welcome.
I'm so joy-filled, and I just want to thank Christian in particular for her midwifery and the words that you spoke so lovingly. That was so beautiful. After you spoke, I thought, I don't know if I'm going to be able to sing after that. I was so choked up. There's just so much love here, and Cynthia, we met just before COVID, and the impact that you've had on my life, I can't even describe. Thank you. Thank you for everything. And it continues. The healing in the future, but there's healing now, and there's been healing, and so, and I look at these faces, you know, I love you all. So,
yeah,
I take this joy very seriously. When we say alalaho, it definitely comes straight from the heart.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Cynthia. My book arrived on my porch as Hugh was speaking. I opened the book right before the blessing of the book. So, you know, I just totally believe in magic.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic and miracles are afoot.
Yes. Yeah.
And we need all the help we can get.
Yeah. It's so good to be with all of you in this way. The technology is amazing, and it's also really going to be wonderful to be with some of you in the flesh soon.
Yes, may that be an invitation to consider joining us in Santa Fe in June, because it does promise to be a beautiful gathering and a powerful one. And we'd love to have as many of you with us as possible.
It will be a grand adventure.
Yes, it will, as always. It's a pilgrimage. And there will so far be 10 treasure vases in the circle with us for the retreat. So that will also be quite a convergence. Yes. And there's one with Laurel Lynn who has her hand up.
Oh my gosh, what a wonderful way to spend this day. Oh. Hearing people talk about the pandemic reminds me of the first time I met you. I was actually sequestered in my car when Karen Kataby drove me there to meet you so that I could receive the vase to go to Antarctica. And I was really ill from something completely different, but I had to wait in the car the first time that I came to your place. And I didn't even know how worth waiting for everything would be, but it was really something sitting in your driveway, just sort of anticipating, well, what is going to happen? And wow, what a beautiful happening. And I, like everyone else, just feel so grateful for the Sangha. And thank you for reading to us. Oh, storyteller. It was reminded me of when you were stitching the snake back together, and we're all around you, and you're the mother telling the story, singing the song, doing the stitching back. It's like so great and so mythologically appealing. And your reading about Indra's net was very precious to me today, because of course I've heard the term, but I've never heard it described in that manner, and it became alive and so real. And I just feel like we're all wrapped in it. We're all jewels in it. It's all sparkling and wonderful. And just can't wait for the book to arrive. And I'm just telling everyone how excited I am for them to be able to read it so they can understand what I keep talking about with this. just what you shared was wonderful, and looking forward to seeing you in DC. And Judith, I want to connect with you. I have been a little out of the loop, but I'm really holding DC in my mind and heart, and it's all going to be good. Blessings to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura Lynn. Let's take one more with you, Lauren Hills, and then Rasul, let's show the video, or Jeffrey, if you're still around, and then we can close up with a few more comments from folks after we share the video from Shantam. Go ahead, Lauren Hills.
Thank you so much. This has been the best spring equinox party ever. I'm just thrilled and amazed and honored, Cynthia, to have met you and to realize the depth of your work. I had no idea when I was stalking you on Facebook trying to get to be your friend what you were actually up to. But obviously the aura was of great attraction, and I just appreciate what you've accomplished so much. You know, what an amazing thing to do with your life. You know, it's wow. So I like to sometimes doodle while I'm listening because it sort of helps ground me. And this is what came out. It was all circles, and it just feels like the web, the rainbow web of our gathering and of our Sangha and of our wishes and light and love. And I'm just so happy to see all your smiling faces and to be here with you. And so thank you.
Thank you, Lauren. It's great to have you with us, and was wonderful to have you in Greece on the pilgrimage to Delphi with that treasure vase last year. Beautiful experience. So I'm wondering, so Shantam Seth is my godmother's daughter. You and I were at his wedding. We're both longtime students of Thich Nhat Hanh's. So Shantam, of course, leads pilgrimages to all of the places of the Buddha's life. And we did a pilgrimage together with the treasure vase and took it around to all of those places. It's described in a chapter called Pilgrimage in my book. And we ended up going way up to as close to the source of the Ganges as we could go to bury it there. So he talks about that on this video.
So I hope the sound of the bell is reverberating through the cosmos, all the way to America, the Turtle Island from India, where I'm sitting. I'm sitting at Jamun village in Dehradun with the Himalayas behind me. And this is where Cynthia and many of us were summoned to the earth, summoned by the earth, I would say, to plant one of the earth's treasure vases many years ago now. I can't even remember which year it was, maybe 2013 or maybe earlier. But I wanted to congratulate Cynthia on the launch of her book. I think she has been inspired in many ways by the understanding of interbeing, the teaching that everything is interconnected, whether it's our actions, our speech, our thoughts. And so by this aspiration to heal the earth, by implanting precious vases all across this precious earth of ours, it's an act of healing, an act of aspiration of healing of our earth. So I met Cynthia now, I don't know, 1986, 87 at the Ojai Foundation. So she's my dear, dear Dharma sister, but more than a dear Dharma sister, she's even a Dharma parent, a co-parent for me, because she's my elder daughter's grandmother. And she was there at my wedding with Gitu, and I was there with her for her wedding with Hugh. And so the friendship also became, in a sense, familial. And I really feel she's one of the most wonderful people I've met in my life. And I feel that we're very blessed, or I'm blessed to know her. We met it was 37 years ago at the Ojai Foundation. We were a little younger, but she always struck me as somebody who was very, did everything with a lot of care, a lot of beauty, a lot of precision in terms of organization. And for me, I met my teacher there. I met Thich Nhat Hanh, my primary teacher there, and I would thank her very much for that opportunity, because she was one of the co-organizers or co-facilitators of bringing Thich Nhat Hanh for the artist retreat, Ojai, in 1987. And since then, we just kept in touch over time. And at one point, we talked about doing the pilgrimage in India, which is to the Buddhist sites, and we did that together. And then out of that arose this idea that let's also plant a treasure vase near the source of the Ganges. And the Ganges provides water, probably 400, 500 million people, the Gangetic Plains, to 400, 500 million people. And so if you can create some sort of healing in this river ecosystem, it would be great. So let's go to the source. So we went as close to the source of the Ganga, and met wonderful people along the way, people who were also living by the Ganges or trying to heal the Ganges. There was a Mahantji in Varanasi, there was Nanima up in the hills, and these were people who dedicated their lives to spiritual and secular healing of the Ganga. So I think we got into that stream and felt that we were part of a much larger flow of healing for the world. And since then, I feel, we don't meet that often, but I can see that what she does, and I keep in touch with her work, and I feel that what she's done so far in her life can only heal the planet in ways that we have no idea in terms of what the effects are. So thank you, Cynthia, for inviting me to share. My name is Shantam. I'm speaking, as I said, from India, and I'm a teacher in the lineage of Thich Nhat Hanh. And it's a wonderful day. We're in the middle of a retreat, a wake-up retreat for nearly 100 young people in India, in terms of bringing the teachings of into being and healing and transformation to the people who come into the planet. And it's titled, "The Future is Now." So whatever we do now will have an effect in the next moment, in the next day, in the next years. And I feel that's what we've been doing as Dharma brothers and sisters with Cynthia over this time. And I would also like to bow to you and to Gitu and our core families. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Shantam. It's so wonderful to hear and see my beautiful brother Shantam in India. 100 young people walking the path of awakening. So our numbers are dwindling, but I still see some of you here, and would love to hear from you, Maggie and Eva and Judith, who have your hands up to start. And please go ahead, Judith.
I'm so glad I had a client from 4 to 5 my time, and I was so sad to leave after I'd been for the first hour. But then I thought, well, maybe they're still there. And I had this feeling like my family was all waiting for me. And I want to mention that first, and then also just to say my immense congratulations and gratitude for everything you've brought, Cynthia, and all the things we're going to be doing up in Washington, D.C. soon. So it's been a beautiful, beautiful addition to my life to be part of the Sangha, and I truly appreciate you, Cynthia, and wish this book every success.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Judith. For those of you who don't know, Judith is stewarding a treasure vase to Washington, D.C., and some of us are going to meet there to make a little pilgrimage and bury it on Earth Day, as a matter of fact. That's right around the corner on April 22nd. So please think of us during that time from the 19th to the 22nd, because that particular location needs a lot of prayers. And we'll be carrying all of you with us in spirit. Go ahead, Maggie and Eva in Melbourne, Australia. Welcome.
Oh, how wonderful, lovely. My goodness. Cynthia, I mean, how deeply can we bow? I think for all of us, you know, how high can we lift you in honor and exaltation? You are remarkable. It's a remarkable journey. The book is remarkable. And I am so deeply honored to be part of it. I don't know, 10 years is it since you first came to Australia? And
11.
More than that, what
11.
air it is. The richness, the community, others have expressed it. It's been expressed so beautifully. But there is a remarkableness that's beyond the words. But we deeply love you, we deeply honor you. You can now add writer to your list of credits that are there. And with the book, another holy vessel. I mean, the vases themselves as holy vessel. You are an extraordinary holy vessel. And you've enabled each one of us within the community to find our way into being holy vessels. And I think the gift of this book, I remember first holding that Little Earth Treasure Vase here in Australia and thinking part of its magnificence was that it was so accessible, that there was no one in the world who didn't have a prayer in their heart that they wanted to, you know, to offer. And these little gigantic vases were this form that allowed everyone and everything to actually have expression. And that's widened as this community and all the offshoots of the forms that are there, where we do, you know, it's extraordinary as we come together each week, each month, and the sustenance that gives us all is such a gift. I mean, this book is a being in itself. It's already there. I had a little note from Amazon.com this morning, who I ordered my book from, saying, sorry, your book is delayed. We don't know when it will arrive. We'll let you know as soon as we can. I thought, oh well, first round of publications is sold out already. We'll wait for the next one to arrive here down under. And so it is. I can't actually find words, but it's been so expressed within us all here today. But I love you dearly. I can't thank you enough for the life you've given to me, to us, to Gaia itself. And as Christian said, you know, or others have said, it will go on for a foreverness that's beyond the lifetimes of all of us. And I thank the goddess you were born under the sign of Capricorn, that's allowed you to, you know, have all of that has been necessary. I mean, it's unimaginable. We don't even know a lot of the stories. The book will certainly give us greater entrance, but that blow by blow that it takes for this sort of leadership, for this sort of creatrix that you are, is beyond the imaginings of most of us. But you've done it, woman. You've done it. You've done it, and you are doing it, and it will continue to be done. And bowing most deeply. Love you. Oh, we're in the dark.
Dearest Cynthia, I thank you. I thank you for meeting each other so deeply and all the times that we have been able to hug and to be together, and for being through your whole birthing. I just literally felt with you birthing your incredible, can we say book? It is a living being, I'm sure, like all the vases are. Thank you. I love you.
Oh, I love you too. I love you both so much and look forward to the day when we can hug again. In
Yes.
person, in the flesh, and it won't be soon enough. But
Yes.
your presence in this circle and in this mandala has been such a gift to all of us. Maggie and Ava, we love you. And yeah, wow, what a journey. What an incredible journey.
Yes.
All right. Okay, Julian and Sophie, and then Wendy. And I'm then going to call on a few of you who haven't raised your hands yet. So well, be prepared. Yeah, like you. I saw that hand.
Well, yeah. I think me and Sophie were just so happy that this time has finally come. Every step along the journey, culminating in this moment where we can all celebrate your achievement and this offering into the world. And it's just so exciting to think of the catalytic effect of the treasure vases, and now the book, which will act as a catalyst in such a profoundly magnified form. And yeah, it's just so exciting. It feels like this is like a graduation, and that, yeah, I think we can all say you've completed this with the highest honors, imaginable. And, we can see your graduation cap being thrown into the wind, and just want you to celebrate and just feel this, just collective love and joy and appreciation for you and everything you've done on the path. And just hearing from everybody, Sophie and I were in tears so many times, just hearing all the stories and everything that everyone's said. And it's just beautiful to remember, when you came to Australia and when you brought, the last treasure vase to Australia. So thank you so much for choosing Australia to bring that energy to this land and to support these lands. And I've been a part of four pilgrimages here and to different corners of Australia, and it's every time it's been so incredible to be part of this process. And I think the thing that I feel like is this is all about creating right relationship. It's something Sophie and I talk about all the time. Right relationship to the earth, to nature, to each other. There couldn't be anything more important at this time in humanity and in creation than that, to come back to the truth of, if we just make right relationship, everything will be good, everything will come right, everything will be restored. And I think this pathway and your example and you showing us this path and learning from Thich Nhat Hanh and the different Buddhist masters and the deities and the indigenous peoples of the whole planet, this is just sharing that, and it wouldn't be as complete. It would only just be a little fragment unless you'd actually gone to all these places and engaged all these cultures and spiritual traditions and found a way of distilling the essence in such a way that everybody can benefit from those insights and understandings and awarenesses that will really act as a major catalyst for a deeper understanding of what's really important in life. And that's love. And it's the love for each other, and it's the love of nature, and it's the love of all people. And it's this you know, just getting over all the petty ego stuff that keeps us in separation. It's just coming back to the truth. And I think, yeah, your editor mentioned it. It's just, this is the truth. And this, you can't dispute the truth of this, because this is lived experience. This is the voice of the world, all reinforcing something that we all need to awaken to. And so, yeah, I just, you know, we just commend you and, you know, love you so dearly, and love this beautiful community of people that have gathered to support you, because they also want to be of service. So you've activated our capacities to be of service even more, and to step up, and I think the whole world will feel that. So bring it on. It's just so good. And we're just absolutely thrilled. And everyone in this community are such beautiful souls, and what a absolute stunning Sangha to be part of. And it's just such a joy. And I so look forward to coming to the States. And you know, Sophie won't be there in person, but she'll be with us in spirit, and her pussycats, you know, that Sekhmet energy. We call them house lions because they hold the energy of this truth, don't they?
Yeah. So congratulations, Cynthia, and it's just an honor and an absolute privilege to meet you and to be on this journey, and it's such an honor. So congratulations and thank you.
Thank you so much, both of you. It's always such a treat to have you with us, and so excited for you to come here, Julian, and enhance this convergence that we are gathering to create together, to co-create together. And gosh, you know, if you people down in Australia aren't getting the book, we need, you know, just let me know, because I do have several boxes here I can send down there, because I want you to get it as soon as you possibly can, and have the joy of reading with all the rest of us. But and I wanted to say, Elizabeth mentioned that pilgrimage, that first pilgrimage to bury the vase on Auntie Margaret's land, Mama Margaret. I had 4 treasure vases in my backpack, not 2, but 4. So that was what seeded the 4 directions on the whole continent after we buried the one that was the last one of the first generation. So it has been such a beautiful fulfillment to make the connection to all of you in Australia. And next year, I really hope we can do the 2nd annual convergence in Australia.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
All right. I know there's still a few of you that would like to speak and that I would love to hear from. And I think one of them might be my very own sister, Karen Cockstein, who has joined us. And I think it's the first time that she may ever have joined us. Do you know how to unmute yourself? Yes. Go ahead, Karen. It's wonderful to see you and have you here. And Sean, hello.
Guess what came today? Got mine. 2 copies. I can't wait to read it. I just wanted to get on and express enormous sisterly love. I've watched this little person from when she was born to now and seen her grow, and the depth that she's reached and the wisdom is just remarkable. It's hard to believe that one little person can grow into this fabulous, deep, rich, inspiring woman. So I love you, Cynthia. Thank you so much for everything you've given.
You're so welcome. It's amazing. I'm sure you and so many people in my life would never have expected me to turn out the way I did.
Well, you're not just the normal average thing, are you? You're sort of a goddess, Cynthia, and you're amazing.
Well, it's wonderful to have you with us today, Karen. And
I agree.
for those of you who are following me on Facebook, you may have seen the art of this woman, Karen Brockstein. She is celebrating the crones, the elder women amongst us, in these amazing figures that she places in all kinds of locations, maybe a little bit like vessels of healing. And anyway, totally love and celebrate your art, Karen, and really happy, very, very happy to see you today. So
I love and celebrate yours.
yeah. Okay, everybody has to now actually read the book and then tell me how you feel about it. And you know, it's one thing to sell some copies, but it's another thing to really know how it has moved in you once you read it. So that's what I am very, very much looking forward to hearing. All right, Kat, welcome, Kat Van Hammond.
Who's Kat Van Hammond?
Hi. It's so hard to know what to say, but first of all, Cynthia, congratulations on giving birth to this book. And I'm sure that it was a lot of, I know it's a lot to bring forth a book like that. And I feel like it is also a living myth, and we really need myths to live by today. We really need lived, embodied stories that bring us to a deeper place. And so just feeling so appreciative of that. I felt like David was kind of saying something along those lines too, the hero's journey. But I also want to say that for me, I feel like I also have been on a path, and it's different, you know, and I feel like many of us have in this Sangha, but what you created for us was a kind of a structure, a very powerful mandala in which to enter together and serve together. And that group, as you mentioned, that collective, that Sangha, to have that is such a unbelievable gift. When I first got involved with this, it was something I searched for years and years and years. And when I guess I was a bit disillusioned actually. And then when I entered this group, I had no idea that it would be that for me. And it just deepens and deepens, and I just can't wait to read the book, because every story that you tell or anybody else in the Sangha shares about their experience, their journey with vases, or even anything about their journey, it's just a deepening and widening of the beauty and the light and the incredibleness of this mandala. And every time when we gather or even when we don't gather and I tune in to it, it's just such a nourishment and a just an incredible, profound gift. And like everyone else, you know, it's just so beyond. When you wrote the book, were you just going, oh my God, like I did all that? It was just, that's how I'm just like, it just keeps getting more and more amazing. And I'm just so happy to be one of the 1,000 arms.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, Kat. Yeah, you are. Every one of you is, and here we are together. It does blow my mind. It really has blown my mind. I'm curious, Rasul, if you have anything to say.
Yes, I wish to give gratitude for the woman that birthed you. Thanks to your mama in this life and to your papa and to all of the meandering journey that has made you into the woman that you are. All of the way that the stars aligned to conceive the being that is you, and the teachers, and just feeling really grateful and honored to be aside you in this lifetime, to be another needle of light calling forth this great rainbow tapestry. And just really happy to be here aside you. So thank you. I wish you great basking, great restorative basking as you share the book with the world, and excited to see who others feel summoned by Gaia's summoning and your summoning as you gathered up all of those threads and have now shared them with us. What a gift. Thank you so much.
Well, you're so welcome, and having you beside me is a gift to me too. So thanks for showing up and being a part of all of this. Rasul is in Colombia, for those of you who don't know. And she's holding down a node there in that part of the world with her little treasure vase that is traveling and dedicated to the waters of the world. So, my friends, wowie zowie. It is beyond words. Before we finally do close, is there anyone who hasn't spoken who would like to come forward? Yeah, Walter.
Hello, darling.
Hello, darling.
Oh, you are probably the most guiding light of humanity
Well,
that I've been hanging around with for about 25 years. And you have a gift, and your gift is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, it's years past, you know, when you were working on your book and everything else. I mean, I was just blown away with how much passion and content you were gathering. I'm very proud of you for staying with it. It's been a long journey, but it is paying off now. And I do remember back when you'd walk down those stairs going into the Sangha in your house, you'd look over there, there would be 32 or 30 earth vases just stacked up. And, but in those early days, you know, I mean, you would end up having, you know, sometimes we would have 10 of us, 9 of us, 3 of us, meditating. Other times when you had an Earthvoss, full moon rise, Earthvoss ceremony, 45 or 50 people would show up. But anyway, I love you, and I just want to say thank you for what you have given me in my life. I appreciate that. And this book, I'm just starting to read it, but it's beautiful. It's very moving, and it's a book that you have to probably come back and reread and reread and reread. There's a lot in it.
There's a lot in it for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Walter. It's a joy to share the path with you. And I have recently come from a show of Walter's art here in Santa Fe that was hung in a gallery we love. And it was so beautiful to see your work displayed, Walter. You're an inspiration to me too. And, you know, the thing is like the facets of Indra's net, and each of you, each of us is a part of that beautiful sparkling web or net. And each of us is a fully realized being, you know, being of light and love and creativity. And that's the beauty. And thank you so much, because you've showered me today with so much love and appreciation. And I'm so excited for what's, you know, this has truly been such a huge birthing, as Christian will testify, to bring all these threads together and to bring them into this one book, you know, and to then offer it out after all the years of traveling around in all these places and people and communities and everything that's gone into it. But it's really not about me. It's about us. It's about the interconnected web of life, of which each and every one of us is a part. And so to celebrate that,
this is a celebration.
really get it, you know, to
Yeah.
wake up.
Right.
Yeah. And yes, I think we do need a little more celebration in our world today, don't you? It's getting a little heavy out there.
A little heavy.
So we have to, like Thich Nhat Hanh would say, you know, we have to cultivate our joy in order to do the work of transformation in the depths of our consciousness, because it's hard. It's hard these days. And there's a lot of distraction, and there's a lot that's trying to pull us under, and we can't let that happen. But together, as they say in Congo, we are strong.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I think that's the sign. It's wonderful to see you, Corinna. It's wonderful to see you, Alexander. People I haven't seen here in a while. I love you, all of you, every single one of you, and all of your relations. Let's keep the ripples going out. Please come back on the full moon, all our other practices, and yeah, let me know how you like the book. Thank you again, everybody. Alalaho.